Good evening and welcome to this installment of the Focus TV. It's season 5, episode 18. Got Octavia Wyatt, Raymond Lyons, Cardo W. Jr., and Wilson. Tyree Jr. It's a wonderful day, man. It's a great day to start the week. I'm so happy. Look, I know we got a lot of stuff to get through. I got to get this off my chest. Russell Wilson is no longer part owner.
I was like, Cardo's smile just threw me off so bad. As soon as you said that.
Look, I'm so sorry. It had to happen. I've been keeping it to myself. My cousin called me. I went crazy. I had to check like 4 different sources. You know how like when people fake, get people with the fake tweet.
Part about doing things
open up Adam Schefter's Twitter page like 3 times. Like, it's a check mark, right? I need somebody else. It's a real check mark, right? Like I needed it to happen. But either way, I'm having a great day. I'm hoping everyone else is having a great day as well.
Yeah, right.
I know you're on cloud 9 right now.
Yes. As soon as Elway go away, see what happened? My man ain't even been on the job yet. As soon as Elway go away, back in business, dog. I love it. Finally.
There's word that there's word on the street that somebody that just won a Super Bowl as a member of the Rams must have knew something was happening. He was on social media talking about he wanted his old thing back. And he mentioned, I think, the exact mileage above sea level that Denver is. And people were trying to figure out what it was. He's playing golf with one of his former teammates, possibly future teammates today in Cortland Sutton.
Hey.
Russ is there. Vaughn apparently is ready to come home after
baby.
a quick little trip getting the ring. Things looking good in Denver. I don't care how things look in Seattle. I don't care what happens to them, for them, what they do going forward. I saw some people like, what if Deshaun Watson comes? I don't care. You know what can't happen? Russell Wilson can't come back. That's what it matters. Somebody else has to start 0-0. He was 16-4. I was reading all stats to Octavia and Ray before we started. 80 win percentage. That meant at their worst, they beat my team twice. He woke up and beat our team and then had breakfast. So I'm so happy he's gone. But Ray, we're gonna let you start actually get to the proceedings this evening. Washington Wizards and the Capital City Go-Go. What have they been up to?
Kristaps Porzingis made his long-awaited debut for the Wizards on Sunday, in the win against the Pacers. I mean, if you're honest with yourself, you've been paying attention, you already know what he's capable of when healthy. So yeah, he made an immediate impact on the team. He adds some rim protection, adds a lot of versatility on both sides of the ball. He's a rim deterrent, and he was switching out on screens, guarding guys, giving the guards a chance to recover. And, he just kind of shored up the defense a little bit, because they've outside of Gaff, and he gets in foul trouble a lot. Porzingis just added that extra, that extra layer of rim protection that they've been sorely missing. So, it's a great addition to the team. We were excited to finally see him out there. But, just having him as a completely new component to the Wizards, Wes Unseld Jr., he was, he's saying he was shocked at his conditioning, seeing as how he hadn't played in a while. But, he looked happy and ready to be out there. And he gives Wes some things to play with, man. Like adding 7-2 is adding 7-2 no matter how you slice it. But, when he's aptly named the unicorn for a reason, that guy can do a lot of things on the court. But we can see some creative things happen with the lineup. If West felt froggy, we could see Gaff, Porzingis, Kuz, Denny, and Sato out there. That's a lot of size, length, and versatility, man. That'd be hell to deal with, offensively and defensively. So, man, it's good to see him finally out there. Maybe with that addition, the Wizards can make a late push. And we can, we can see him slide into this play-in situation. They start a West Coast road trip tomorrow night against the Clippers. Those 10 p.m. starts. Me, Wilson, and Cardale's favorites.
Oh.
But yeah, man. So we gonna be up drinking coffee and taking no dose, so we can knock out Wizards outlook. As far as the go, they split a back-to-back series against the Wisconsin Herd. They lost the first game, then came back Saturday night and were victorious. Basically it was a tale of two games, man. Frank Mason III, he kind of got busy on Friday night. He had 30 points. They made some adjustments, came back the next night and held him to 7. Adversely on the go-go side, Jordan Goodwin, he had 9 in the loss. Then he bounced back and had 23 in the win. So, yeah, man, just good adjustments on both sides. On Friday night's win for the Herd, Frank Mason, he kind of got loose late in the fourth quarter. Hit some timely baskets. But they did a good job of denying them on Saturday. Just kind of keeping him out of his rhythm. And for Goodwin, man, he just kind of settled down and made better decisions with the basketball. So that that led to him having bouncing back from Friday night's game and come back Saturday with a strong effort. Man, that 3-point shooting still remains weird. It's almost like you don't want them to shoot well, because typically when they shoot well from 3, they lose. They shot 40% on Friday night in the loss, then came back and shot 29% in the win. So that's one of those things, man. It's weird with them, but that's still a part of the game that they're trying to figure out. Jaime Ekanike, man, he's still putting in work. Had double-doubles in both games, 22 and 10 on Friday and 16 and 14 on Saturday. He's just been dominating the entire season, man, even with his short stint with the Wizards on his 10-day. I mean, I think that really boosted his confidence, because ever since then he's been on a tear. Greg Monroe, he's keeping up his stellar play off the bench, and I think he's been a positive influence on Jaime as well. Just to have a veteran guy like that plays your same position, kind of knows how the league works, knows what's needed to stick around at the top level. I can imagine it's paying ultimate dividends for him. And, Cassius Winston's getting in the mix, man. He had 19 and 17 points respectively. So he's he had been battling injuries all season, and he's finally starting to get to a place where he's on the court regularly. And we saw what he was capable of at Michigan State. So yeah, it's good to see him out there on a regular basis. The Go-Go, their next game is on Thursday. They'll be visiting the Westchester Knicks. And, those games always mean a little extra for them, because Amber Nichols and Pops, they have this friendly little rivalry going on, between the GMs. So yeah, man, hopefully the Go-Go come out on top.
All right, we're gonna move over to the college segment. Cardell, you got first dibs on this one.
Yeah, bear with me. It's a lot, man. Big week for the A10. Start with the women's side. They wrapped up this weekend. GW Women's, they put up a fight in the quarterfinal game against VCU. But the Rams' experience, proved to be too much in the back and forth second half. The Rams, shooting 50% from the field after halftime, took home a 55-47 win, at Chase Fieldhouse out in Delaware. It's a facility where the Sixers G League team practices at. So nice facility. Early on, it looked as though George Washington had a chance, to pull off the upset. The Colonial started the game matching blows with VCU. They were able to take a 25-21 lead heading into halftime. The Colonial offense was clicking for the most part. They had 5 first-half threes, 3 by Nia Locke. But after halftime, with GW having a chance to, pull away, but they couldn't. And meanwhile, while they were struggling offensively to pull away, their defense was on point. They held VCU to 1 of 9 shooting to start the third, but their offense never recovered. They shot 1 for 11, and then eventually VCU found a rhythm, and they hit 6 of their last 8 shots to take a 36-31 lead into the fourth quarter and never look back. GW did battle back in the fourth in the surge on an 8-0 run to take a 42-40 lead about midway through the fourth. But like I said, the Rams offense, they got it going again, going on a 6-0 run to take the lead. And then they just held on to avoid the upset in the final 3 minutes. Shislani Loriano had 15 points, while Kiara Franks ended with 11 points. For VCU, Tyra Robinson led the way with 19 points, and while Sarah Tibby also had 17. Now let's get to the fella side of things. First off, I'm going to just talk about the conference awards. That was announced actually today, just a couple hours ago. GW Men's had 3 players on the conference awards. This was their best regular season finish since the 2016-17 season. Sophomore guard Joe Bamasil and junior guard James Bishop both earned a spot on the all-conference third team. By first-year guard Brian Freeman was named to the all-rookie squad. GW. This was the first time GW placed multiple members on the all-conference team since the 2015-2016 season when Patricia Guarino and Tyler Kavanaugh were both second-team selections. Bamasil, who most people may not know, is a Virginia Tech transfer. This is his first year with GW. He tied for the A10 lead with 11 20-point games, including a league best 8 against conference foes. He was one of just 2 players in the league to have multiple games of 29 or more points in conference play. Virginia native, also topped the conference in total points during league play, finishing third in points per game with 18. Overall, he was 8th in the conference with 16 points per game, and also top 10 in field goal percentage, field goal attempts, field goal makes, and total points. Bishop was 4th in the A10 with 16.8 points per game during the season, and also 4th during conference play, averaging 17.5 points per game. The Baltimore Navy finished with 10 games of 20 or more points, including 7 against A10 competition. He was 1st in field goal attempts and was 3rd in free throw percentage, 4th in total points, and 7th in field goal makes. Freshman Freeman had a stellar freshman campaign, and a lot of people were doubting him, but he proved them wrong. He averaged 10 points per game to go along 3.6 assists and 1.3 steals per game. He was one of just 7 freshmen to post these type of numbers nationally. Among A10 freshmen, Freeman was 2nd in assists and assist to turnover ratio, 3rd in steals, and 4th in points per game, ranking in the top 15 overall in the league in each category. In the process, he became the first GW freshman since Carl Elliott during the 2003-2004 season to contribute at least 100 assists in a single season. I've been saying all season, GW, their guard play, that's the strength of their team, and that's who they would be leaning on. As they take on, they actually have the 7th seed going in on Wednesday as they take on UMass, number 10 UMass at 6 p.m. All right, now let me get on with the rest of the awards for the men's side. Player of the Year. Spoke on him when GW played Davidson, Luka Brockovich. He was named Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year was Osun Osunniyi. You'll hear about him on draft night. Rookie of the Year is Daron Holmes, 2nd out of Dayton. Most Improved is Chuba Ohams out of Fordham. 6th Man of the Year, Kobe Breyer from Dayton. And Coach of the Year, Bob Migalop. If y'all don't know who he is, that's the head coach of Davidson, Coach Steph Curry. So I think he knows a thing or two about talent, how to develop players, and X's and O's. For the all-conference first team, Brockovich, high on league, another Davidson guard, Josh Aduro, Paul VI alum, George Mason, Jalen Attaway from St. Bonaventure, Yuri Collins from St. Louis, and Vince Williams from VCU. For the second team, Foster Lawyer from Davidson, Daron Holmes II from Dayton, Chuba Ohams from Fordham, Dollar Burton from Richmond, Osun Osunniyi from St. Bonaventure, and Ace Baldwin, former St. Francis standout out of Baltimore. That rounds out the second team. And on the third team, I spoke on Bamasil and Bishop, Tumani Kamara from Dayton. As you can see why they were at the top of the A10 is a lot of their players that made the conference team. Jacob Gilliard of Richmond, Kyle Loft out of St. Bonaventure, and Gibson Jefferson, who's another local prospect, played for Boo Williams, St. Louis, one of the best shooters in the country. And on our defensive team, Daron Holmes II from Dayton, Chuba Ohams from Fordham, Jacob Gilliard from Richmond, Osun Osunniyi from St. Bonaventure, Yuri Collins from St. Louis, and on our rookie team with Brian Freeman, Daron Holmes II, Malachi Smith out of New York, Eric Reynolds, who's a local prospect, played for Team Durant, played at DeMatha at St. Joe's, and Jaden Nunn from VCU. And just to give you a quick rundown of the schedule, tomorrow things tip off for the men's side of things for the A10 championships. The first game is 12 seed LaSalle versus 13 seed St. Joseph at 1 p.m. And the second game will be 11 seed Rhode Island versus 14 seed Duquesne. That will move on to Thursday, 8 seed Fordham versus 9 seed George Mason at noon. 5th seed St. Louis versus the winner of LaSalle St. Joe's at 2:30. GW 7th seed versus 10th seed Massachusetts at 6. And then 6th seed Richmond versus the winner of the second game of tomorrow between Rhode Island and Duquesne at 8:30. And then Friday, top seed Davidson would take on the winner of Game 3 from Thursday at noon. 4 seed St. Bonaventure would take on the winner of Game 4 from Thursday at 2:30. Second seed Dayton would take on the winner of Game 5 from Thursday at 6 p.m. And third seed VCU would take on the winner of Game 6 at 8:30 on Friday. And then we'll go from there. I have all the content in the world based on what goes down in this conference. It's going to be a long week for me. But next week, I'll have everything what happened, who won the championship, who stood out, and, who punched their ticket to the tournament. Everything's at stake now.
All right, moving on to Maryland women's. All right, the Hoosiers exacted their revenge against the Terps in the Big Ten tournament, knocking out Maryland, the earliest they've ever been knocked out the Big Ten tournament before. Prior to this season, Maryland has either won the tournament or pretty much either won the tournament or lost in the championship game. Those are the only two options until this year. Indiana came out and executed their game plan to a T. They slowed the pace of the game down. They took away the 3-ball as an option for Maryland, and they were able to hold on for a 62-51 win in the quarterfinals. Mackenzie Holmes led the Hoosiers with 17 points, and Grace Berger added 16 points. The Terps were led by Ashley Owusu's 21. Angel Reese had another double-double with 14 points, 13 boards. Indiana led at the half 34-25. The Terps came out in the third quarter and started to roll a little bit, closing the gap to as little as 4, but they weren't able to get over the hump. Credit Indiana for that. The Hoosiers continued to execute well enough on both ends to ensure that they didn't lose the lead or the tempo of the game. They controlled it to the point where the only time running happened was when on Indiana's terms. Because the last thing you want to do, anybody who plays Maryland, unless you're a team that likes to run like that, most Big Ten teams try not to get into a running affair with them. And Indiana did, 24 seconds, however many seconds were on the shot clock, they used all of them for most of the game. And they just did a really good job. Both Mackenzie Holmes, I want to credit Mackenzie Holmes and Ashley Owusu, both of them coming back from injuries that have kept them out for quite a bit. It was the first game that both of them kind of started to look like themselves, which is good for both of them as they head into the tournament. After the game, Coach Freeze talked about being disappointed in the loss, while also giving credit to how tough the Big Ten has been all season. She went on to say it's about using this fire to collect ourselves and get back. Obviously, we put ourselves in a really good position for the NCAA tournament, and we need to use that as motivation. I've had teams in the past that have used this motivation to take them far in the NCAA tournament. So, we'll see. The selection show is March 13th, and, by the time we talk to you next week, we're going to know who they're playing, where they're seated, and whatnot, because, look, man, March is ready to go. And if you guys haven't been paying attention yet, these upsets are not waiting for the dance. Just if you take it a little look around, people are getting out of there early around the country in different leagues. We saw the SEC.
Yeah, South Carolina.
That I don't think too many people expected that. Obviously, Ryan Howard's one of the best players in the country. That said, South Carolina's been dominant all year long. And obviously, it's not the end of the year. It's just going to make the tournament that much better. You lost in the conference championship, and it was a huge win for Kentucky. I think it was their first time in 40 years accomplishing that goal. But, man, the tournament's going to be crazy. And as for the Big Ten tournament, congrats to Iowa. They went on to win the Big Ten tournament. They beat Indiana 74-67. Shout out to Monica Cesano. She led the Hawkeyes with 30 points and 10 rebounds. Caitlin Clark added 18 points and 7 rebounds. We're going to take our first break. When we get back, Carter's going to let you guys know what's happening in Maryland States. Got a little DC United, and, rapid fire should be fun. But you're watching the Focus TV. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the Focus TV. As promised, Cardell, what's happening with Maryland State? I know you wanted to make everybody aware of dates and times and whatnot.
Yeah, man. It's for the first time in I don't know how long, decades, they changed the format. Normally they would have the girls' state championship games, the semifinals, and the championship games in all classes 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A at Towson, and the fellas will do the same thing in Xfinity at College Park, University of Maryland College Park. This year, both sides are at the University of Maryland, and they're just doing the championship games at the University of Maryland, and they're combining both the girls and the girls and the boys championship games. So for Thursday, right now they're going through. They're finishing their state play around on the fellas and on the girls side. So we'll know Thursday who's playing who. But right now, as the schedule is set up at the University of Maryland Xfinity Center, the Class 1A Girls Championship will take place at 6 p.m. Thursday, and the 3A Boys Championship will take place 8 p.m. on Thursday. On Friday, the 1A Boys Championship will take place at 6 p.m. and the Class 4A Girls Championship will take place at 8 p.m. Then on Saturday at 1 p.m., we'll have the Class 2A Girls Championship, the Class 2A Boys Championship at 3 p.m., the Class 3A Girls Championship at 6 p.m., and the Class 4A Boys Championship at 8 p.m. Sound confusing a little bit. I get it. First so I hope people are aware, of the schedule, because people are going to be used to the usual setup, coming to Xfinity looking for the boys, and they're going to see a girls game going on. Like, what the hell is going on? I already expect that to happen.
It's better this way, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because and I get it, because a lot of people were, probably complaining. You know what I mean? Like, if you got 2 kids, same high school.
I even like it so where they have like the same team sometimes are in it. Like, you can support your boys' team, you can support your girls' team at the same time, kind of. I think that's pretty cool.
And for the parents and stuff, and obviously coming off the COVID situation, they might want to just have one central location for everything, and just go through there. So it's all types of reasons. I'll find out more when I get there, because I didn't, I've been so locked in, and NBA college, and then I just looked on the schedule. I'm like, hold on, what the hell? So yeah, they mixing everything up. So it'll be exciting to see, man. But I'm looking forward to it. Right now, they have a couple games going on already. That's actually live stream right now. Edmondson Westside on the boys side beat Patterson, where they're beating Pattersonville 54-26. Staying on the boys side, Oakdale's beating Atholton 34-19. On the girls side, Catechin beat Fort Hill 50-40. Lake Clifton on the fella side beat Cambridge South 59-29. Pikesville girls is defeating they're running away over Forest Park 31-19. On the girls side, sheesh, Flowers, they jumped out to an 18-4 lead over Clarksburg. And on the boys side, it's a dogfight right now. City College at 25 and Huntington at 24. So you can keep up with what's going on until we get to the state championships at Xfinity. But we're gonna see how it is. It's different. I'm not mad at it. I'm just gonna see how it plays out. But it's cool because kind of like unless you got a dog in the race on the girls' side, most people ignore the girls' side. This will force you to pay attention to both sides. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, DC United. The second consecutive week, DC United looked to have surrendered an early goal to their opponents, only to have it taken away via video review. In soccer, most people can't stand VAR. DC United, VAR has been your friend twice in 2 weeks. It behooves you to kind of, I don't know, how many folks, if I'm DC United, I don't want to be in a position where I'm counting on VAR to save me that many times. Look, man, VAR is a trigger word. In both cases, the goal scorer was ruled offsides. This week it occurred in the 22nd minute with Brandon Vasquez beat Bill Hamid with a nice shot from outside the box. It was the only time on the night that Hamid would be beat. Since the one time didn't count, the Black and Red were able to escape Cincinnati with 3 points in a 1-0 victory. Ola Kamara would score the lone goal in this game, converting a penalty kick after Jeff Cameron handball inside the box, courtesy of video review. The home team came out super aggressive in this one, looking to atone for a poor showing the weekend prior. To talk about FC Cincinnati, they were definitely in the aggressive. They were on the front foot nearly all match. However, DC United did have a couple of chances to go up early, but they just couldn't capitalize. FC Cincinnati took 16 shots in the match, 6 of which were on goal. Bill Hamid, he answered the call each and every time, coming up with 6 saves en route to his 80th career clean sheet. His team needed him at his best, and he provided just that. I'm talking about the first 10 minutes of this match. They were under attack, and Bill was just back there essentially staying on his head, making sure nothing went by him. And then late in the game, he was there for them once again. Moses Nyman, he was sent off in the 80th minute after a tackle on former teammate Luciano Acosta. Initially issued a yellow card. After a video review, I'm tired of bringing up VAR, it was upgraded to a red, which means DC United had to play the rest of the match from the 80th minute on down a man. They got the opportunity in the 94th minute on a set piece. Youngster Sofian Defal took the free kick. He delivered a winding ball to the back post. Steve Birnbaum went up and tried to head it back to the center of the box where Ola Kamara and Donovan Pines were. The ball glanced off the hand of Jeff Cameron. Immediately, Kamara motioned to the official that was a handball, making sure that he got the official's attention. But it's soccer. Play continued for nearly 40 seconds or so before they took the time to make a review. Unfortunately for Cincinnati, DC United was awarded the penalty kick, as we saw him do so many times last season. Ola stepped up to the spot, and he delivered the PK. Up next for the Black and Red, they host Chicago Fire FC this Saturday at Audi Field. What's important here is, hey, look, man, you don't get an extra point for style points. It's 2 games. Every win's worth 3 points. You got 6 points after 2 weeks. That's what's important. You haven't played great yet. And this is the type of game both Coach Hernan Lasada and Bill and me mentioned after the game. They lost these types of games several times last year where they were, the game's in the balance. They're on the road, a couple times at home, and you're down a man and you're bunkered in, trying to defend, make sure you don't give up a goal. But you want to get forward because you're still trying to chase the win. You don't want to settle for the draw and just get 1 point. But unfortunately, times last year when that happened, they would go forward, but they weren't able to hold the line defensively and get got, and it hurt. This time, they were able to escape. They took care of their business on the back end. And again, just a huge game from Bill and Meade. I think that's back-to-back weeks. He's made MLS Team of the Week. It's. I'm sure they're very happy that they brought him back a couple years ago. Very, very happy. And he's back with a couple people off the team. He's back to rocking his normal 24. He let go of 28. So that's always a good thing. But hopefully you guys get a chance to come out to Audi this week. 9-4-50 breakdowns this week. Jamal Hayward will be breaking down a stationary move into a counter on the move. Again, it's a breakdown of a stationary move into a counter on the move. It's going to be followed by our second break. You're watching the Focus TV. We'll see you in just a little bit. All right, we jump back in, Cardell. I'm just going to hand it to you for rapid fire. Welcome back to the Focus TV. I want to thank Jamal Hayward for knocking out the 9-4-50 breakdown. All right, Cardell, what you got for us this week? Because there's been enough crazy stuff happening. Only imagine what made the rapid fire list this week. You're on mute, sir.
Porter Wilson, my fault. We're going to get right to Russell Wilson. We're going to get right to him. I'm ecstatic.
I just had a feeling that would be it.
So was it happy? You should have known that would have been first. Y'all know what's up. It's been a long time coming. Traded to the Broncos. The Broncos have agreed to trade quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant. That hurt. Defensive lineman Shelby Harris.
I was waiting for that too.
2 first-round picks. 9th overall 2022 and 2023, 2 second-round picks, 40th overall 2022 and 2023, 5th round pick in 2022 to the Seahawks for Wilson, and 2022 4th-round pick. The trade obviously gives my Broncos a legit quarterback since Peyton Manning retired. and give Seattle some pieces to try to rebuild and look for a quarterback. What are your thoughts? We're gonna start with you, Octavia.
I mean, I think it works out for everybody because, like, I think what's always crazy to me with these type of reports is, Russell's never really said he wanted to leave, or he has. And I gave a list, but I don't want to leave, but I kind of want to stay. It's all of this stuff. So it's like all the rumors always go crazy, but I think it's actually a really good fit for him. Because like everybody's been saying, like Denver is just a quarterback away from being a legit contender, if that's what you want to. Because I mean, I think they did really good last year too, but I mean, to be a legit contender, looking for an actual quarterback, because like you said, they haven't had a stable one since Peyton left. And we all know, like, people, I don't know why people try to say like Russell Wilson isn't good anymore. Like, I think it was Ryan Clark that talked about it one time on Get Up, and it like made a whole thing on Twitter. He just had a bad year. I mean, it's not great pieces around him anymore that much. And of course he got injured. He doesn't usually get injured. So it was kind of weird to see that happen for him to be out as long as he was. But I think it's going to work out great. I'm glad if he left and he went somewhere and he didn't come to my team, he didn't come to my division. So I'm happy, I don't think we play them this year. I ain't in the AFC, so I'm good. Those teams that are in the AFC with you guys now, I mean, good luck. Because like I said, I mean, I will say, I think losing Fant, that's like you said, that hurt a little bit. That would hurt me too, because I was looking tough, like y'all gave up a lot. But again, you guys are kind of in a win now situation. Like you have a lot of great pieces and you got to go with it now. So I'm interested to see how it works out and see if anything else happens as time goes on.
And just to piggyback on what you're saying, Russell Wilson got banged up because he was running for his life.
Yes. He's been running for his life for like the last 3 years, if not more.
Yeah, so we gonna help with all that. We gonna protect him, and especially get my man Vaughn back. But I digress. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, I'm like Octavia, man. This don't have nothing to do with me. If he like it, I love it.
Stay
I know one thing: the AFC West gonna be hell. Like, man, like the basement of the quarterbacks in your division is Derek Carr. I mean, that ain't easy to deal with, man. But yeah, like I said, we said, man, it works out for both teams. Russell goes to, I think he's going to add a lot to Denver and put them in a much better place. Seattle gets some pieces as well. They could package some of them picks up and, add something nice to their team. But yeah, man, like, if he's happy, I'm happy. Like, I'm not minding other people's business. I know Wilson's happy that he's out the division, and Cardell's happy that he got a quarterback. It works out for everybody, man.
His whole show is happy.
Right. So, man, shout out to them, man. Good job.
Wilson.
Then what's my man's name? George Patton. Shout out to Mr. Pat, man. Outstanding work. He didn't waste any time. And I see some people talk about the price. Look, you can't put a price on a franchise quarterback in this league. Otherwise, like, it used to be like there was that middle class of purgatory. It's not even purgatory. You got one or you don't.
That's true.
And I've been screaming at the last 2 years. That's why I was cool last year and my team threw away picks. I didn't care about now. One of them picks, go get you a guy. It's better to have a guy than to be left out here looking and lacking and waiting and then telling yourself that one of these guys that ain't the guy could be the guy. So Denver skipped that part. They tried it. They were like, no, we're not going to stay in this place. And credit to them. Yeah, and even with the Noah Fant thing, that's the only part of that where I felt like they gave something up. But again, like my cousin and I have been talking, we were talking last night on NFL Wrap Up. That'll be out this week. If you're a good team in the NFL and your organization is ran well, I'll tell you, I wish it was a secret. This year's draft isn't anything but depth and rotation pieces. Now, if you haven't built your roster correctly, that's your problem. I don't care. I wish you the best. That's unfortunate. If you did, and you also have the guy under center, you're not gonna be out here reaching for stuff. I like Noah Fant, no disrespect to him. This is a deep tight end class. Life will be fine. Even with all the picks they gave up. When you have a guy under center, I don't care about the first round pick. You know what you got last year? You went and got one of those coverage things that matter oh so dearly and deeply. You know what this, and no disrespect to any of the corners in this class. I like Sauce Gardner. There's a lot of the guys like outside of Derek Stingley. There's no Surtains in here, man.
Like,
you know, not trying to be mean, just being honest. Like, that guy's not there. There's one of those guys in this draft. Last draft, there was a couple of those guys, but, you know, that was last year. Russ in a down year, 26-6 last year. 26 tugs, 6 interceptions in a down year. He's also leaving the freaking mutant league. He's going to be so happy. Them dudes not about to be out there chasing him. I'm not trying to be mean to the people, the defense in the AFC West. I know there are strong defenses. Feels like most of them, they're a little bit more coverage heavy than the Michael Myers type pass rushers the NFC West has, where it just doesn't matter. Also, what Denver reminds me of is what Seattle used to be before they disrespected the LOB, blew everything up, and never won anything of consequence ever again. So Russell's just plugging into a team where look for Javonte Williams, was a great pick last year at running back. And, you know, Russ is best what? Run the ball, play action, moon ball downfield. Life's going to be okay for Denver. As for Seattle, look, man, we knew this was coming at some point in time. I guess they chose to get ahead of it. You got a nice haul. Now it's about making the most of it. Like, Drew Lock, welcome to the Mutant League. Wish you the best. That doesn't, just because they have Drew Lock, doesn't mean they don't they're not going to take a quarterback. You can still take a swing on a quarterback this year. Also, one of the guys followed that was covering that was in Indy last year. Pete Carroll was only on hand for 1 day of QB of drills last week for field drills. It was QB day. Seattle might be one of the teams that's looking at Malik Willis. We don't know. We'll see. But they're gonna have to try to rebuild. It is what it is. But for Denver, yeah, man, go all in and go knock somebody out of there. Go have fun.
Yeah, I'm most excited about the leadership he's going to bring. And also Jerry Jeudy, with the potential he has. You know, I know Sutton and all those guys did work and whatnot. But I think Jerry Jeudy got all-pro potential, like year in, year out. And with this guy coming, you know, he has a great chance to reach in that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. We already have weapons in place for him. You know what I'm saying? So all he got to do is just come there and put those guys to work. And I know he's a consummate professional, and that's something we haven't had combined with the talent since Peyton Manning left. And that's something I've been looking for. So it wasn't nothing really even talk about last year because it wasn't, at least on that side of the ball, wasn't, even affected Vaughn's play. Because it's like, my man, defense can't this ain't the Ravens defense, man. That was just a sick defense, dog. Like, we look, just give us a field goal and a touchdown, we good. It ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? So we needed a lot, man. And like you said, in our division, with my homeboys being at the top, we're not even getting out of the division if you don't have a quarterback. It just is what it is. Even always forget his name, young fellow with the Chargers. You know what I'm saying?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been at the bottom as far as quarterbacks since Peyton retired. And Drew Lock has talent, but like I said, he reminds me of Bad Breath Off. He's always a double agent. Got the arm talent and everything. He's tough and all that, but he's not as accurate as you need him to be. And he will throw the ball to other teams and, help you lose games. And you just can't do that. It's not that many games to go. And then Terry Bridgewater beat him out. You feel what I'm saying? I was never sold on the old coach, so we're going to see what this new coach do. But I think he would be stupid not to rock with Russell Wilson now that they got him and kind of partner up on this thing instead of trying to be a little dictator as a lot of NFL coaches would do and just mess things up. I think when you get something like that that's already been there, done that, especially as your first year as head coach, you kind of lean on them. You know what I'm saying? And like they did with Peyton, you just lean on them. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing hard. You coach the other guys and keep them in line for what Russell's trying to do. Let him lead. That's what he does best. And that's what I'm excited. I can trust his leadership. He got the pieces around him. He won't have to run for his life. If Vaughn come back, even better. You know what I'm saying? Because we need him to get my homeboy. And he got to get some revenge on the Nightcrawler, the teleporting dude, Tyreek Hill, who always just disappears when he about to tackle him. We got to get some revenge on him. So, I'm excited, man. We got a fighting chance again instead of just taking ass whooping. Potentially handing them out again. It's been bad, dog. It's been bad, especially from the Chiefs. I got Chiefs fans texting me, talking. I'm like, yeah, what I'm saying. One of them is a Duke fan. I'm like, about to have your team looking like Coach K last week, walking off the field. The assistant coaches not shaking hands, doing no look handshakes and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. So it's gonna be fun, man. But I'm excited to get him in the camp and just see him get the leadership out the way, and hopefully he trains with Tim Grover again. What I'm saying? Stay sharp, and the offensive line come ready to play. It's as simple as that. Moving on, we're gonna stay in the NFL. That wasn't the only good news. Big news out of NFL. Aaron Rodgers, he's not done with Green Bay. He said he's staying. Rodgers announced on Twitter that he will return to the Packers for the 2022 season. The Sides are working on a new contract that will lower his salary cap figure for the 2022 season while giving Rodgers 38 contractual clarity well into his 40s. Rodgers said the deal has not yet been signed or agreed upon. Just what are your thoughts on him staying with the Packers? We'll start with you, Ray.
I mean, I'm not shocked. Yeah, I mean, I really didn't see too many ways this was going to go. But again, this is not my business. if they like it, I love it, man. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is still a good football player. How are things going to be in that locker room? I mean, they seem to be pretty rocky as of late, but again, man, he's only been the second quarterback in like 40 years in Green Bay, so he wasn't leaving unless he wanted to leave, So I don't think it was much of a choice there. So yeah, man, here we are. I'm pretty sure that contract is going to be very front loaded, so they may spin the block in a year or two and be like, "All right, man, it's been real, but time's are ticking." So yeah, man, it is what it is. More luck to him. Cancel culture's worked out pretty well for him, I'd say. So enjoy life, man.
Wilson.
He likes attention. That's all he really wanted. That's good for him. Yeah, I don't care. It's cool that he's staying with the Packers. It's going to cost them some players on defense, but what else is new? They're also going to have to get rid of some people and make some more room because he wants to get his boy paid, pretty sure. And Devontae Adams wants to reset the wide receiver market. Currently, in the clubhouse is DeAndre Hopkins at $27 million a year. Devontae probably wants to touch 30. And I'm sure that's the reason why Aaron's numbers haven't come out yet, because they got to figure out a way to how to make both of them the highest paid players at their position for 2 years, and then figure out whatever happens after that. While Jordan Love continues to sit there, rot, and watch. Zadarius Smith already got released. Look, man, like Ray said, I'm not shocked. I didn't think he was going any. I thought he was either coming back or he was retiring. It was one of the two. Because I don't think there was too many other places around the league that probably deal with him and the stuff that he comes with. Honestly, Green Bay seems cool with it and willing to deal with it. So shout out to Green Bay. Congratulations.
Man, name one of these great quarterbacks you ain't got to deal with shit with, man. Like it comes with the territory. Octavian.
I think that's true, but I think Aaron Rodgers is a special case. Like, I really, I can't remember a quarterback that literally has like a standing interview with a talk show podcast like every Tuesday to report what he's doing throughout the week. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy he made a decision. I could care less where he went, where he stayed, what he did. I was more surprised that he stayed with the Packers last year, so I'm not surprised that he stayed with the Packers this year. I'm just glad that he finally made a decision, just because the talk around it was driving me insane. It was like every 5 minutes, somebody was wondering where Aaron Rodgers was going to go. Is he going to stay? Is he not going to stay? Like, I watch my morning shows on ESPN, and I was like, if I hear Aaron Rodgers one more time, like, I'm going to lose it. Because is he going to stay or is he going to go? Like, who cares at this point? But I think ultimately, I would guess, again, I don't know his complete thought process, but I think ultimately, like, it just makes more sense for him to stay there. Like, you dominated that league, that division for years and on top of years. You have arguably the best wide receiver on your team. And now you have your team bending over backwards to give you everything that you wanted in the first place. So why would you leave that at this point and then go start over and try to then dictate that again to somebody else? It just didn't make sense to me. So he's not in my division. If my team ever decides to make it to an NFC championship, maybe we'll have to deal with it then. Well, again, because it wasn't that long ago, but then maybe we have to deal with that again. But, I'm just glad it's over. He made the decision and we can move on with the rest of free agency.
You know how tired you sound of hearing about him? I feel that way on that basketball side about a certain player in LA, but we're gonna keep it moving.
I'm tired of hearing about that team too. Like, can we stop?
That's why Aaron Rodgers don't even phase. Nobody else phase me because it's literally that.
There are very few things that I agree with Kendrick Perkins on. Very few things. But he said that. He was like, can we stop talking about them? I was like, finally, I agree with him about something. I wish they would too, but they're not.
Exactly. So we're gonna keep it moving. This dude done set us back like 20 years. Worst time. NFL suspends Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley for at least the 2022 season for betting on games. The NFL released a statement Monday announcing his suspension, saying Ridley gambled on games over a 5-day stretch in November 2021 when he was on the non-football injury list to address his mental health. In a series of tweets Monday after the suspension was announced, Ridley said he bet $1,500 total and that I don't have a gambling problem. He also tweeted that he couldn't even watch football at the time. He made the bets. He added that he's just going to be more healthy when I come back. And then I know I was wrong, but I'm getting 1 year, laughing out loud. Ridley contract will go until 2023 and come off the books for 2022, opening up $11.1 million in salary cap room for the Falcons. The earliest Ridley can apply for reinstatement is February 15, 2023. The NFL said, this right here, goddamn. Go ahead, Wilson. This
I'll get this one first. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, Calvin really did something really stupid. Like, I think I saw a tweet the day it happened. Where's the most perfect tweet? Like, why don't you just use a family member's phone like every other player in the league? And I say that, and I'm not trying to be cheeky with that comment. Like, seriously, we think no one's doing that. It's just no one did it on their own device, like you did, in a location to which you could get caught with your device. That was super dumb. Also, NFL, there's stuff coming out where like other people that are in organizations work with teams are allowed to legally do this. Players aren't, which I agree with players shouldn't be able to. I'm also of the thought that if you work for NFL, if you're employed by an NFL team, you shouldn't be able to either, period. So while Calvin really did something incredibly dumb, we all do know that it's happening around the league, period. It's happening for non-players without any scrutiny or caring at all. The NFL needs to figure something out, but they probably won't, to make an example of Calvin and keep it moving to make sure players can't do it or shouldn't get caught doing it. And that's going to be that. But this is why, is when people were talking about these, like 10, 15 years ago, before we knew this was coming at some point, with gambling and betting and joining, being partners and sponsors of the leagues and all that other stuff. Like, you're inviting all that crap in anyways. But, in my last comment, it's interesting that you acted swiftly on this with the player, but like there's, allegedly owners and such handing out bread to, tell people not to win games or whatever. And we're just
that
we'll
sure
get to
takes a
that whenever
long
we get
time.
to it. But yeah, Calvin Ridley, congratulations on being the first person dumb enough to get caught. Where the loophole was huge, like it was an incredibly large loophole. And then for the Falcons, at least he's not on your books this season. You're gonna be bad anyways. Honestly, you might as well just trade Matt. Take this year as a whole gap year. Let the Matt trade and eat the dead cap. Get over it and go into next year. Maybe like reset everything as soon as Calvin gets back. Trade. Just figure things out. But yeah, not shocked.
Yeah, NFL and integrity, that don't go together. Octavian.
Yeah. I had to really look up how old he was because at first I was like, maybe he's young and dumb. But I mean, like, bro, you 27. Let's start that. Let's go ahead and start with that. You sacrifice $11 million for $1,500. For $1,500 over a 5-day period. What also blows me in the situation is, again, here we are with players that are now exercising this right of mental health, which is their complete right to do so, right? So again, the people that are actually having mental health issues are people going to start looking at them sideways? Because here we have somebody who took off multiple games stating they were addressing their mental health. But were you addressing their mental health when you was betting on games? Because my mental health, if that's the case, like I just don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, like, what was the payout? Like, what were you going to get if you were right? Because if it wasn't $11 million, then I don't understand what the issue is. And then also, like Wilson said, like, how are you even dumb enough to get caught? Like, I feel like his email address literally said Calvin Ridley, like the real Calvin Ridley @gmail.com. And they were just like, oh, okay, I guess that's really him. Like, I just don't understand it. It's just stupid to me. When I heard the news, I was like, wow. Now, the one thing that kind of gives me pause, even though I can kind of see both sides, is like the punishment for this is so severe. But the punishment for other stuff isn't that severe. I mean, people just be knocking their girlfriends and wives upside the head. They get like 6 games, and it's like, it's okay. I mean, you could beat up people. Just don't bet on our games. So to me, it's a little wild with that. And like you said, we also have, owners that are accused of, paying people to lose. I mean, we still got emails that we haven't seen. Like, where the emails at? So there's so many other pressing issues that could have the NFL's time, but it just seems like, betting on this is one thing. Although I kind of slightly get it because it does go towards the integrity of the league. But let's be honest, nobody really believes the integrity of the NFL anyway. Like, every other game you hear, like, oh, somebody probably throwing this game. Like, this game is rigged. Like, we say it all the time. So, like, I don't understand why that's their focus now, but shout out to him for being dumb enough to lose $11 million for $15,000 over a 5-day period. Like, you lost $11 million, or you got fired from your job on the day off. Come on, man.
Right.
Yeah, he just paying the stupid penalty with this 1 year suspension. Like, that's like, dude, come on, man. And that's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that went into the decision making. Like, dude, like, really? You just going right now face like this? Like, come on, man. Like, because like Wilson said, man, players are doing it. Like, nobody's that naive to believe that nobody's taking part in this, man. Like, but yeah, the hypocrisy of the situation is not surprising at all. The NFL going NFL, so that part doesn't shock me. But yeah, how you manage to get caught doing this, like, dude, I honestly don't have any sympathy because this was extremely stupid. And then to try to Then to try to say, "Oh, I only bet 1,500," that's even more stupid. Like you gonna jeopardize yourself over peanuts? Like if you
I hope he saved some more money for his next
right,
year.
man. Like if you gonna go, man, go all the way. Like Jesus Christ. But yeah, it is what it is, man. We'll maybe see him in the following season, but yeah, Atlanta's just a dumpster fire, and he was betting on the Falcons to win games
Without him?
Yeah,
without him.
he deserves everything he's getting, man. Like this was just stupid all around. Like, come on, dude.
Like, I don't want to say the N-word. That's why I can't do away with it. Because situations like this, it fits so well, with certain people and certain actions. Though I gotta just call it like, come on, y'all know y'all it hit y'all brain. Soon y'all heard about this, like, man, that's what you do. That's what you do. This is right here, man. Like, really? Oh, man, like you can't. It's like, dog, and it make me mad, man, because it's like I can just see, colonizers up in their office, like, see, this is what I'm talking about. I can't even say that, dog. We just like, dang, man, like, and he make us all look bad, like, and then you come out on Twitter and say you should just stay quiet, man. Like, if the NFL put it out there, fine, just take the L, be accountable. And Octavia, I'm with you, man. The mental health thing to me has been used as a cop out, especially for a lot of these public figures, and especially in sports, to not be accountable. My mental health was messed up. Your mental health was fine. You suffer from I don't give up syndrome. That's what you suffer from, man. You got caught, and it's just a way for them not to have to be accountable and have to take the consequences of things. Because now as you can see with other situations. You see it in the NBA where players are looking at fans wrong for looking at them weird for booing them when they're not giving maximum effort. Like, these fans ain't paying their hard money. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, do you see the gas prices and stuff going up? Like, I paid bread to see you, and you won't even hustle for the loose ball. And you mad because I boo you? Then you talking about mental health after the game and stuff like that? Man, get that. Like, it's just. And it's making it bad for people who really have mental issues.
Yep, and that's what I hate about it.
Blurring the lines, man, because it's not right, man. And you're right. Like, this is just ignorant, man. And but we knew this was going to happen. We were going to have cases like this when they connect the gambling to these professional leagues. Like, dudes are not going to be able to help themselves, and females. Athletes are not going to be able to help themselves. They're going to try. It's like when we were in school. It was always rules set. Then you just always had those couple of classmates that just couldn't help themselves with breaking the rules, messing it up for everybody. And he's just proven to be one of those guys. He didn't even think it through all the way. That's why he robbed the bank with no mask and no gun. Just walked in there and just try to rob, get the cash, and walk out. Like, dude, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they definitely made the example out of him. Like, dog. You could at least hit it better, man. Like, no, we just gonna hit you for being stupid, like for just being ridiculous with it. Like, this just is blatant. Like, you didn't even try to hide, man. You feel what I'm saying? So, and at the end of the day, I don't want to hear nobody trying to justify rules are rules. It doesn't matter if the owners or the coaching staff they don't have the same set of rules. You, as a player, have a certain standard of rules. You have to follow them. If you don't, there will be consequences. So you can't get on Twitter and be like, man, I only bet $1,400-$1,500, and that's all I did. It ain't that big of a deal. Dude, you broke a rule, but it cost you $11 million. That's a hell of a deal. And I can tell he ain't married because that's a hell of a conversation to come home. Like, yeah, babe.
Oh yeah, we definitely having a serious conversation. Like, you lost what?
After that 11 million ain't hitting the count, you know what I'm saying? I bet on the game.
Like, you better go get a job in this year you off.
Like, no, that's a mean conversation. 11 million, you gone. Woo. Especially you married to a sister. Woo. God damn, yeah. It's gonna be a whole lot of over that dumb reason. Nah, dog. So I can tell he a single man, young-minded. You know what I'm saying? That's 11 million he won't get back, because once the Falcons release him, who the hell gonna sign him for a big enough deal?
Yeah.
Like, how you recoup that? This ain't the NBA.
Worst part? his name was in trade talks before he, the stupid.
That's what I'm saying. He would have been a free agent.
He was about to get traded and get it possibly sign a new contract, because in this market, you're 27, you put up numbers, but again, and to go to the point of how stupid, like Ray said, it was a stupid penalty. You went inside a physical brick and mortar building and placed the bet on your phone. Yeah, it's a stupid penalty. You literally physically got up and went inside a building to place the bet.
Should have been home working on your mental health, sir.
Hey, look, you said it. I ain't got to.
Before we get out of here, I just want to say this. Prayers up to Brittany Griner. That's a crazy, scary, effed up situation she's in right now. For those that may not know, story broke out. She was arrested in Russia. She plays basketball in the WNBA all season overseas, like a lot of WNBA players do in Russia. Says she got caught with, I guess, marijuana seeds, vaping, whatever you want to call it,
like
in a bag
or something.
That's what they say. I'm not believing nothing that's coming out of Russia at this point in time. I just feel like they recognized her at the airport and they locked her up, and they kind of using her as a pawn for all this political stuff of what's going on in the war. And the sad thing is, we just found out about it last week. Apparently, she's been locked up since early February, and people just started making noise because she was very active on social media, and then she just went cold. So everybody like, where's she at? Then come to find out that, and then all of a sudden today, a photo was released by Russia with her, I guess it looked like when she first got arrested, holding a sign up or whatnot. This is a scary situation because if you've been paying attention, Putin's not playing. He's probably sending bombs as we speak, to Ukraine, praying for all those people and all that. A lot of players nearly didn't get home playing overseas in that region of the world. I'm just praying she get home safe, man. I'm not even worried about basketball. Ain't no telling what they're doing, because she represents so many things that they hate over there, that they're totally against. One thing, if you get caught with drugs over there, that's 10 plus years off the top. You know what I'm saying? That's that they caught her with it, but it remains to be seen. American lawmakers and stuff like that, they have no jurisdiction over there. They don't care. So that's the tug of war right now. And I believe if Putin could use her for his own gain, he will. It's just a scary situation every time I think about it every day, man, because it's just like, damn, dog, like, it's a real good chance she may not, God forbid, she might not come back. You see what I'm saying? Because of how ruthless they are over there. And I just know horror stories from just on these overseas and stuff like that goes down. So, man, my prayers up for them, for her family, because, man, this is why you got to pay attention to the world, because it was coming a few months ago with this show up, and I would have got about it in quick. Once I would have saw what? We're in the war, I'm out. I don't even care about the bread. I just come out here and get the job. But that's wild that they picked her out of all the basketball players over there.
Like you said, she definitely stands out. So I could definitely see that. But that also reminds me too, I want to say it's nice that Mo Creek did get back from Ukraine. He was actually in Ukraine. I don't know if you guys saw on the reports. He used to play for GW, played for Indiana. He did play in the Pitts League for a while. He was stuck in Ukraine for I don't even know how long. It says he was going in between his apartment and bomb shelters. So he just recently got home finally. So it's just a shout out to him for getting home safely, because it's crazy. Like, I saw a lot of the reports, and like he did a lot of interviews with the stations over here just to see how, like, that's kind of crazy to me. Like you said, like, for it to be Brittany Griner, yes, we definitely want to get home, but for me to see somebody that I like actually know, like, stuck over there, like, it was kind of heartbreaking. So I'm just glad that he got home safely.
Like you guys both said, it's rough. It's definitely rough over there, and definitely continue your prayers for BG while she's over there. Hopefully they get that resolved and get her back on this side of the world as soon as humanly possible.
I would never go back either.
Want to thank y'all for spending time with us this week. We'll be back next week, as always. Wednesdays, Roku channel. All you got to do, if you got a Roku television device, search the Focus TV. Show will be up between 9 and 9:30 a.m. NFL wrap-up show will be up tomorrow morning as well. And then for Fridays at 10 p.m., DCTV. Also get over to dctv.org to check when the show re-airs throughout the course of the weekend. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week.